Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening to Blue Collar Hockey Talk. Scott Feeney here. We've got Wes Atkinson. Guys, I hope that you're listening to this podcast because we're knocking it out of the park lately. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the trades that went up. We are going to talk a bunch of Leaf talk. You know, we got Matthews out of the lineup. We've got Vancouver Canucks. We're going to talk about William Nylander. We got this day in hockey history, a couple games, whatever, man. We got lots of stuff we're going on about here. Wes, buddy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I thought it was awesome to see the Leafs go all in for once, man. I felt young again because I think the last time they did that, I was either like 19 or 20, so that was a while ago, and it was so awesome to see them get guys we needed and guys that seem will fit, right? And we nailed it on our last show. Like, go back and listen to our last show about the guys that we said they should go for Felino and Riddick. And they did. And it was jaw-dropping when they made those trades, wasn't it, Scott?
Oh, buddy. I mean, like, we even made mention of San Jose sitting there ready to take some of the salary. Like, yeah. I mean, like, that happened. And we recorded it before the show. So, folks, let's not talk about garbage. Let's talk blue-collar hockey talk. Damn it, I blew that, but I don't care because we're going to nail what we are talking about. Man, I love it. Like, and I mean, you're writing the quiz stuff, buddy. I don't know. I'm feeling like we're on a bit of a roll. Let's keep it going.
All right, man. Well, let's get right into the trades that the Leafs made over the past week. Well, let's start off with the Riley Nash trade. We talked about it a little bit on our last show. Got him from the Columbus Blue Jackets for a 7th-round pick. I really hope he's back in time for the playoffs. Man, I think he'd be a perfect forward to have on our bottom six. What do you think?
I think he's got that kind of feistiness that you probably want. But I mean, like, I really think that his main piece was to have that, luxury at the deadline to use his long-term injured reserve on our cap relief. Like that was where it was all at. If he can fit in, great. If we can use him in the pieces, awesome. But later in the show, I'm looking forward to the segment that you're going to introduce to us of who's in, who's out. So stay tuned later for it, guys, because I probably wouldn't put him in. But anyways, I think that it was a good trade. It worked out for what we needed it for. And maybe he'll work out in the lineup, but I don't have big hopes that he does great things, but it'd be a bonus.
Yeah, I think it would be a bonus. And, man, he's been on some teams that have eliminated the Leafs from the playoffs over the past few years. He was on Boston. He was in Columbus. I think if they can fit him in, I think it'd be great to have him on the team. He just has that playoff winning pedigree to him. The next trade that happened, it was the biggest one of the day, man. We're going to get forward Nick Felino. We called it the other day. I was so happy when they got him. The price was a bit steep, a 1st-round pick this year, a 4th-round pick next year, but the Blue Jackets are keeping half his salary. To make this whole thing work, the San Jose Sharks are picking up another quarter of his salary. We're getting forward Stefan Nielsen, but we had to give the San Jose Sharks a 4th-round pick this year as well. What do you think of this trade?
I mean, I think that it checks all the boxes that we're looking for. And I think that Dubas has changed his philosophy. It's not just getting high talent, big, like numbers. Like, it's what's the right piece? What's the right fit? What are you looking for? You know, and he's built character. He's built leadership. He's built, a team that's going to be accountable of themselves. And, we nailed it, West. I'm just going to say it again. We nailed this one. And so did the Leafs. I think that this will be a really good deal, man. I'm excited about it. I think it's perfect.
I can't agree more, man. I think he is the kind of guy we need. He is just basically like young enough that he is going to push the young guys. But, man, he has that drive, that he just has that character. Everyone loves him. He's a team guy. He was the captain of the Blue Jackets. He knows how to motivate a team. Like, the Blue Jackets shouldn't have won last year. And it was under his leadership that they actually beat the Maple Leafs. So when you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, hey, I'm in. The next trade that we had was forward Stefan Noesen. Did I say that right? I don't get names right. I'm brutal. Anyways, from the San Jose Sharks for a 4th-round pick in 2021 and 25% of Felino's salary. That was part of that deal. Yeah. Did I just mess that up or what?
No, it's all right, man. I think it's like we didn't really talk about this much, but this is so important, man. And it's just so the Leafs could do some salary cap gymnastics and get Felino's salary to fit with the Leafs, And if it costs us a 4th-round pick, why not? Like these are a lot of picks to be giving away. they didn't trade a live body until later in the day, and it was a depth player they traded away, and I think that's so important because the Leafs picked 7 times last year. Man, we have a good farm system. Like these picks, they could develop into really good players, but Dubas decided to keep what he knows rather than gamble on what he doesn't know.
No, that's fair. That is fair. And I mean, a 4th-round pick, I mean, man, you're talking crapshoot at that point. Like we're talking bigs. You know what I mean? Who? Exactly. Yeah. A 4th-round pick from like 6 years ago. But whatever. That's what you got to do to get this done. This is an all-in year. We were saying that. I mean, when I was saying that, hey, we might actually do this, it was hard to really feel like it would happen because, like you say, it feels like we're 19, 20 years old again, man. Like this is cool. This is neat. I love seeing teams go all in. I love being a part of the fan base of the team that's going all in.
Yeah, and it's such an awesome ride to be on, man. And the next trade that happened, I honestly almost threw my phone halfway across the room. The Leafs went out and got...
Wes, I got to jump in because, like, I don't even know where the hell you came out with this. Like, I mean, I listen to guys like Elliot Friedman, you know, and these guys talk to people in the industry, and somehow or other you pulled this name, David Riddick, out, and I'm like, that sounds good. But where the hell did you get that from?
Honestly, man, I was just looking at the available goalies, and he was one of them up there, and I was like, he's in Calgary, why not? Like, and I thought it made perfect sense. Like, we needed to strengthen our goaltending depth. Like, literally what happened in Colorado last year, they had to put Hutch in net, and they couldn't win, right? And we didn't want to be in that same situation going into the playoffs with 2 goalies that have had injury problems, right?
Listen, Wes, I'm going to try to figure out how to do these hashtag things on Instagram and stuff because I think that we should be doing like a trade deadline show next year or something. Because that was a hell of a call, buddy. And like Felino's salary, whatever, man. Riddick, I didn't even hear his name mentioned anywhere. I almost threw my phone across the room too. Right away, I picked it up and went, "You kidding me?"
Yeah, it was. You told me about that trade, and I think I swore really loud and almost put my phone across the room.
But I'm so glad I got to break that to you, man.
Yeah. On trade deadline itself, the Leafs actually got some depth in D. They went to the Anaheim Ducks for Ben Hutton for a 5th round in 2022. Why not, man? We need some more depth in D. Like, good move, I think.
I do too. I mean, we lost depth on our D on the waiver wire. You know, like we need that depth. And I mean, it's showing right now. Like the Marlies are shut down. You can't just go and call up somebody right off the top of a hat, maybe, you know? And we'll get into that later, too.
Yeah.
But state trade talk, I know. The depth was important. It was on the checkbox. Dubas did an amazing job, man. Yep. Like, think about this for just a second. Like, we had 3 things on the checkbox. You wanted to have somebody that's going to be an impactful top 6 type forward, and that could fit anywhere in the lineup. Check. Goalie, check. Depth on D, check. And I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was great.
And the last trade that happened at the very end of the day, we went to San Jose again, got forward Antti Sulama for Alexander Barbanoff. Makes sense to me, man. You know what? He just couldn't crack the Leafs roster. Why not ship him to a team where he's going to have a chance to play?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's too bad. I mean, like, I thought either between him or Lettinen, you know, I thought that they were one of those 2 guys were going to be a diamond in the rough. I really do. But you know what? If Galchenyuk's going to be that diamond in the rough, I'm in.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll definitely get back to these trades later in the show. What's West Coast Tim got to say about these trades?
Oh, buddy. So, good old West Coast Tim. I'll read it out here. I'm super pumped to see the new additions. I know I was saying I didn't want to see the Leafs use the high picks and just add around the fringes, but after Willie went out under protocols, accidents happened. I think Dubas was right to go all out. It sucks to not have many picks, but if there's one thing I've learned is the Leafs will do will go out and fill the roster and the Marlies to bring in talent.
I get his point about the picks, man, because I think for modern Leaf fans, when you trade out first round picks, we think of the Phil Kessel trade and how that blew up in our faces, you know. So seeing those picks go out really makes it tough for us to swallow.
But it's all about timing, man. Like, think about it. Like, that, even those picks, you traded those 2 picks. Burke, what was his reasoning for doing it? Was he doing it because he thought that the window was open to win the cup? No, he said it. I mean, I've heard him in a number of interviews. I've heard him a lot. Like, I like Brian Burke a lot, and I respect that he says things pretty straight. What, at least it feels like it is. And he did it to put asses in the seats and to make sure that there was a product to sell, that he could build on it. Do you know? But he traded those picks to build on it, and that's not how you do it. He needed those picks to then get stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fan base, unfortunately, he took over at the wrong time. We've been watching a completely botched rebuild for 20 years.
I think too, what was something about that year in particular, man, no one thought the Leafs were going to finish as horribly as they did, right? Everyone thought they were going to be fighting for a playoff spot at the very least. And it wouldn't have been the number 2 overall pick, right? Like, Sagan went to Boston. Like, that's still mind-blowing to think. And then another pick went to Boston the next year, and they got Dougie Hamilton. Like, crazy. Just crazy how horribly that trade ended up working out. And we're still paying Kessel today.
That's sad, eh? Like, I mean, there's a few guys on the payroll that makes you give your head a shake. But I guess, whatever. That's the deep pockets of the Leafs, so I guess, so what on that? I pay enough money into my bills and stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
Go Leafs, go. I'm not gonna get off about that crap.
And at the same time, too, man, like right now, you think of who's on the Leafs. We have Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, Marner. We're not going to be a bottom feeder team anytime soon. So it's not like any of these first round picks. Even if the Leafs lose in the first round this year again, it's not a top 10 pick, right? Like, that's not going to happen.
No, man. I'm 100% with you. This is the time that you bet on it. We kept saying it. Everybody has said it. This is the year that we need to get through our division. You know, like, you can get through a couple of rounds here, man. Like, you have a serious shot. This was the time to bet on the team and management. Like, it, and Dubas even said it. Like, when we were talking about that trade deadline, we had said at one point that if they're going to do it, it's because management's going to just say, listen, we're not going to take anything out of the room. You know, we're going to just support you. And Dubas said just that, you know. Yeah, man. I'm pumped about trading away those picks right now because we need to walk through the window now. We're not, like you say, we're good for a bit. We've got our core.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not trading away first round picks when we don't have a core.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, we have the young core to build around. There's going to be tons of turnover every year, especially with the flat cap, but this is the time to go for it. So no problem in trading away a first round pick, in my opinion. Yeah, man, we have lots of news to cover this week, especially. It's all Leaf related or related to Canada. We have to talk about Austin Matthews. He's going to miss the game against the Winnipeg Jets this week. Apparently, he's re-aggravated his left-hander wrist, and he's listed as day-to-day. Oh, man. Can't believe this.
I know, man. Like, I mean, it's a bummer, man. Like, I mean, the guy was just finally starting to catch his groove again. And you could tell that he was trying to work his way back in before. So I don't know. It sucks when you see something being a reoccurring injury, especially when it's on a guy that, man, like, injury-riddled season. A shortened season, a lot of curveballs and wrenches, whatever. Hopefully the Leafs are deep, though. They are deep. You know, I hope it doesn't hurt our power play. Anyways, we'll talk about that after. Sorry.
No problem, man. We have to talk about this, man. The Vancouver Canucks, they're supposed to come back on Friday against Edmonton, but that game's been postponed. At the time of recording this, we're unsure about Saturday's game against the Leafs. It could be postponed till Sunday, but then they'll have a back-to-back on Sunday, Monday against the Leafs. That's got to be rough for the Canucks, you know?
That's not, it just doesn't really feel like it's too thoughtful at all. Like, I mean, you'd almost think, like, let's ease you boys back into this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not let's drag you out away from hurling in the toilet and cramped up on the bed, and then drag you onto the ice, have your one practice, and you're in. You know, I don't know, man. Good luck to them. I don't think that it's a fair deal to the Vancouver Canucks. And I don't know. Maybe our power play could score.
Yeah, maybe, man. I think it's going to be a bit tough for them. Like I feel for them, not even as a hockey team, like as a human being, man. Like they're going through such a rough time. Like those guys have wives, girlfriends. A few guys have pregnant wives, and then they've got it as well. Like it has not been easy for them. But speaking of the Canucks, this weekend, if everything goes well, William Nylander should be back against them. So it would be good to see him back.
Yeah, I feel that he's a good weapon, man. Like, I mean, that's a shot and a skill that I want on that ice. And I feel like you can tell when it's not on the ice. So anybody that says trade Willie, he's one of the best contracts we've got, man. I'm looking forward to him back, man. Get back in the lineup and friggin' follow the rules if that's what actually happened. But I shouldn't even say that. I didn't hear that. I just saw that in West Coast Tim's thoughts. I don't know, but whatever. Whatever.
Yeah,
just get back in the line.
I hope he just comes back a little rested and relaxed and is ready to go for another 3 months here if the Leafs can go on a deep playoff run. Well, and more Leaf-related news. The Toronto Marlies have suspended all activities due to COVID protocols. So Nick Robertson was placed on the COVID list as well, but I guess his test came back negative because he was back in time for the game against the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty worried there. And I mean, like I say, I listen to a lot of like what Elliot Friedman says and like how his tone is. And when he got asked about what's the situation with the Leafs, you know, and this was before the game, this was before the test came back that Robertson was good. His answer was just very like clear, and he just said it's very much still in progress. You know, it's still being figured out. You know, and I was worried there because that's how teams have it happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Marlies get shut down, Robertson comes up, he's playing on the team. If there's one thing that can derail this hockey club, man, it would be COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. And that'd be such a shame, eh? Like this year, it is one of their years to go for it, and that'd be awful if that happened. If that was the reason why they lost, that'd be awful.
It'd be devastating. It would really, like, it would put such a, like, think about all the other things that COVID-19 has already made it so that you feel like you're getting robbed. I want to see some games at the pub with my buddies high-fiving. Mm-hmm. I don't need to think that they robbed our hockey team of the best chance I've ever seen. Yep. You know, no, man. Fingers crossed that this just stays okay.
Well, man, that's enough about COVID-19. Let's talk about some actual hockey. Let's go right into the power play. They've scored 1 goal in the last 16 games. That's over a quarter of the season. And what's crazier to me is they've actually been scored against 3 times over that span on the power play.
Yeah, and you even pointed out there to me there, and I didn't think about it, that the one time that we did score on the power play, it was right after they scored against us. Like, it just evened that one out, man. Like, what is it? What did you say there? It's 16 games that we've scored once.
Yes.
Like, how many games have we played this season, man? Like 40, 43?
Just over
like
40, yeah.
Like we're getting well over a third of your games that you played. Whatever, man. That's a lot of games. And they don't look good on it. Like Magic on 5-on-5. And I heard you say this too. I'm all for thinking maybe you go back to putting some 2 defensemen on that point and get a little bit of a different look. Try it out for a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. Get your swagger on it because, geez.
I think what would be good about putting 2 defensemen in there too is you're taking out some skill, you know, and it would almost confuse the penalty killers on the other team, right? Like the teams don't run the 2 defensemen power play anymore. They just don't do it, and I think it would be like, why not now? It's not going to get any worse, is it?
No. Well, at this point, I'm almost ready to put 3 defensemen on as forwards and 2 forwards on defense, man. Yeah. Like, you can't get worse than this. You're losing 3-1 in the last 16 games on the power play.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. And you're in first place still.
Yeah.
Through that.
Yeah.
Somehow.
So
good on you.
That's only one half of the special teams. The other half of the special teams kills me, man. The penalty kill. It's been slipping, It was really good when the Leafs were on that 9-0-1 run, but right now they've been scored against on the power play, on the penalty kill at least once in the past 3 games. And it's always the same play, man. They lose the draw, they drop the puck back, shot, goal. Like, what the hell?
I know, it's maddening. Like, and you can see it happening. I I didn't. I've been really happy with how the Leafs have played this season as a whole, but like because there wasn't a lot of big flags being thrown. We weren't winning games while we're getting outshot 43-22.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't happening like that. But the penalty kill and your power play, your specialty teams, which has been seen time and time again, and proven to be like, and it's not just talk. Like specialty teams wins playoff rounds, and we're slipping bad in both. We got some time to turn it around. Frig, man.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for a few podcasts now. It's got to turn around.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping with some of the guys they picked up that this should help. And like they have some guys coming in that are not skill first guys, that are grinding type of guys, and hopefully that will work.
Hopefully that will work is right.
Well, let's talk about the actual games, and we'll go all the way back to Monday, and it feels like a long time ago, man. The 4-2 loss against the Montreal Canadiens. The streak is over. Jack Campbell lost his first game after 11 straight wins. It's the first regulation loss for the Leafs, actually, since March 19th. So that's a hell of a run, man. Just short of a month to go without losing in regulation. But that game, they did not show up against Montreal. They didn't look good. Montreal scored their first minute in. The Canadiens were up 2-0 in the first period. The Leafs were able to tie it up, but a minute and a half later, the Canadiens scored, and that was it. Just too bad.
There's a reason why in Vegas, there's a reason why when you're betting on sports, when a team's streaking one way or the other, you start betting against the streak, because the law of averages has to happen. It's sports. That's what happens. Yep. So yeah, we're watching that happen. But man, we made a prediction on 3 games, and I'm feeling like a fool on those ones. Ooh. Trades, we got it. Those predictions, hope you didn't make a pro line bet on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't a one.
No, that's for sure. And you know what? It was. I thought Montreal was looking good, and I thought they were going to go on a bit of a streak, but I was really wrong about that. I think they just caught the Leafs at the right time, and they were able to take advantage.
Me too. I mean, I don't know. The Leafs, they've played a little bit of uninspired hockey in the last bit there. That game, Campbell was hard on himself. I don't know. That's something we're going to have to keep an eye on, and I'm going to probably bring it up a few times, because something that I watch with goalies. And I started watching it with Price the year that he was out with his knee injury, which was not a knee injury. It was not a knee injury. I can't say that enough. And Campbell, he was hard on himself. Like, I don't know if anybody else caught his comments, but when he says, I'm going to look at my gameplay, I'm going to look at what I did wrong, which was a lot, and this is on me. Like, he was hard on himself. Like, dude, like, keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. I really mean that. Like, he's playing good hockey. Keep his chin up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how we move on to the next game, a 3-2 overtime loss against the Calgary Flames. And who was in net for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Big Save Dave. Awesome story. He flew in with the Flames the day before. How awkward of a
on their plane.
Yeah. How awkward would that have been?
Like, I don't even know. Like, I mean, that's... like, for any players that didn't really like him, they would have let their guard down right then and there, right? Started the rivalry right away. And then you got guys like Lucic, who played in his 1,000th game, right? Well, he played against the guy that was riding on his airplane, and he said he got to say a proper goodbye. Man, that was strange. Seeing him in the red pads, the red glove, weird situation, but kind of cool, because I just think that unique things in sports are neat to see.
For sure. And you could tell the Flames knew his tendencies, man. They scored on in the first 5 minutes, even though Hyman was able to tie it up shortly after, but the Flames were able to get a power play goal. Surprise, surprise. Kerfoot was able to tie it up in the third. But man, the Leafs, God, their power play. They had a 4-minute double minor power play, and they couldn't get a goal on that.
not only did they not get a goal on net, Calgary had 3 friggin' glorious chances during those 4 minutes. Like,
you're absolutely right.
Honestly, like they could have so easily had a goal or 2. Like, man, no, it's sad. It's sad. The power play, we can chew on them a lot. I'm not going to get too down on it. It's not. I'm not going to hate on them a lot right now. But their power play sucks, and I don't think I need to say much more about that one.
No, I definitely like. To me, sometimes getting a point in a losing game, it feels like a small win, but in this case, it felt like the Leafs lost that point.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I'm with you on that. I was hoping that we were somehow or other going to pull it through.
Yeah, so was I.
You know, I especially on that 4 minute, like, I mean, and they'd said it the best on the broadcast, and they actually called it. They said, like, the power play that's been struggling so much, like, it has a chance right now to win the hockey game. And you might be actually watching the power play make the choice now, or have the ability of choosing to win or not win the hockey game right now, and you have a 4-minute time to do it, and they didn't do it, and they lost the hockey game, man.
Yeah, and that just carries with them, and that means we're talking about it, and every major show is talking about it. Newspaper articles are written about it. It's on Sportsnet, it's on TSN, it's everywhere about this struggling power play. And for a fact that the other team is just saying, we're going to take a penalty just for fun, just they're getting in their heads. I'd be messing with them if I was playing against them about this.
You know what? You want to talk about messing with them a little bit too. What a piece of garbage Matthew Tkachuk is. Like, did you catch the snow job on Riddick?
Yeah, I think that was more of
the guy was just on his airplane, man.
Yeah.
Like, he chopped him right at the ankles, man. So, I mean, I'm thinking that Riddick didn't like it too much. It was a D move, bud. It was a D move. Simple as that.
Yeah, it probably was. I think he was just doing it to get in his head and mess with them a little bit. But hey, man, that's just me. And I think it was a bit of gamesmanship. And then they ended up winning the game. So I bet he got some text messages on his phone from his old team.
I bet you he did. I mean, that's a pretty unique time, man. Yeah. We got a couple days in hockey history to talk about or something here, buddy?
Yeah, man. Let's do this. I think it's a 2-pack this time. We're going to go to recent history. I know you remember where you were. 2017, the Leafs beat the Capitals 4-3 in double overtime. Kapanen got the goal. The Leafs would win the next game in overtime, and they were leading the series 2-1, but they would lose the series in 6 games. But man, that game when Kapanen scored, awesome.
Funny, and we were just enjoying the ride in Leaf Nation. We were in a playoff round that we weren't supposed to be in, playing against the freaking heavyweights of hockey at the time, and we just took a 2-1 lead. Kasperi Kapanen, who scored a huge goal not more than a week and a half before that against the Pittsburgh Penguins to help get us there, was starting to feel like Captain Clutch. Yep. Yeah, man. I think I remember it. It was friggin' wicked.
It was awesome. I loved it. It's one of my favorite Leaf moments in recent history, which is crazy to say because the Leafs have been to playoffs every year since, and we really don't have much to hold on to besides that one. But I'm hoping things change this year.
I applauded the team off the ice after that series, and I thought, guys, that was a great freaking start, and I mean, remember that pickup at the deadline, and it was yes, we're going for it. We were buyers. We went out and got Boyle or something like that.
Yeah, we did for a 2nd-round pick, and people were like, ooh, 2nd-round pick.
Ooh, we're giving them away.
Yeah. So anyway. the other this day in hockey history, all the way back to 1952, the tradition of throwing an octopus onto the ice begins when the Detroit Red Wings became the first team to win the Stanley Cup without losing a playoff game when they defeated the Montreal Canadiens 3-0 in Game 4 of the final. Obviously, the Red Wings finished the playoffs 8-0 that year, and it was brothers Pete and Jerry Cosmano, store owners in Detroit's Eastern Market. They made history when they tossed an octopus on the ice at Olympia Stadium, and each tentacle symbolized one of the 8 victories they needed to win the cup during the original 6 era. I think that's pretty cool, man.
I love it, man. Thanks for finding that. That's cool. I love that kind of stuff, Like, I always actually wondered, like, how the hell did they get that? Like, did they have to play in it? Like, was there something that went wrong? They had to play in an 8th game? No, I never knew. I was always curious of that. I've been asked a few times, and I didn't have an answer for him. So that's a cool one. Good thinking on them, you know?
Yeah, I just don't get how people sneak them into games now. Like, are they wrapped? I hope they're wrapped in saran wrap and like stuffed into a pant leg or something.
I mean, the only way that I could see that octopus getting brought in there is if you're freaking tying it getting it to stick onto your back underneath your jacket. You know, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know how you're getting it in there, but it's gross. But it's a pretty cool hockey day in history. So thanks again for sharing that one with us, man.
No problem, man. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm putting it in there because I've always wanted to know that too. Let's just move on to the Leafs playing Vancouver this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, but they're playing them for 2 games in a row. The Leafs need these points now, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the score is now, but when we came on the recording, they're playing against the Jets and they weren't winning the game. So if it stays that way, the Jets, I think, if I'm not mistaken, will be 3 points behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, those points are becoming pretty important. I mean, I want top seed in this division. I think the Leafs do too. I think it's important. I think the management does too. They just showed you that. So let's score some power play goals, man.
Yeah. Can't agree with you more, man. I just hope the Leafs are able to roll in there and win the games. And I don't care how they do it. They need to win back-to-back games and just build some more distance, because after that, they have 3 games in a row against the Jets to finish up that series.
Yeah, it's important. You got to get in a roll. You know, Jack, get in net. Because as of time of recording right now, you're out of the net. And I don't know if it's so much to do with him or what. We'll talk about that in the next podcast. But you got to win those 2 games against Van, man. Gotta.
All right, well, I think that's all I had to say tonight. How about you? Want to get anything more in?
You know, I'm just going to say, you know, thanks for listening to this, guys. Mike Oram, I appreciate it when you reached out to us there saying that you're listening to our podcast and turned it into your everyday one. So that's kind of cool because we're nailing stuff. So let's keep nailing stuff and listen to the podcast, guys. Blue Collar Hockey Talk. Scott's out here. Thanks, guys.
All right, well, if you like what you see and what you hear, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at BlueCollarHT, or email us bluecollarhockeytalk@gmail.com. And as we always say, go Leafs go.